Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. My name is Paul, the Canadian Snowman, and we're back with Napoleon again, finally. And, yes, I always feel like it's so long between these videos, even though it's only like a day. But, anyways, we're doing Napoleon Smashes Prussia. What's that? Jena, 1806? Is there Jena? I'm sorry, pronouncing it wrong. I'm sorry. And, yeah. What the heck? Sorry, I got toys in the way. I got my own horse now if anything goes wrong. But anyways, where am I at here? And Napoleon. We're going the next episode. Yeah, Napoleon. All right, let's do it, guys. Before you do, please hit that like and subscribe button, guys. Thank you very much. And this is what Napoleon has up his sleeve tonight. All right, I'm excited. You guys excited? I'm excited. Before I do, I just want to say thank you for the donation. I had a donation this morning, and I don't want to say any names, but I appreciate it. I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, let's get to the video. Bam. If it works. Skip ad. All right, that's good.
HistoryTV History March collaboration, supported by our sponsor, The Great Courses Plus. In December 1805, at the Battle of Austerlitz, Napoleon Bonaparte, Emperor of the French, won a crushing victory against the joint forces of Austria and Russia. Napoleon now dominated Europe, able to hand out spoils as he saw fit. In February 1806, he sent an army led by Marshal Massena to overthrow the King of Naples, who had dared to side with his enemies, and gave his throne to his own brother Joseph instead.
Oh, that's nice.
Another brother, Louis, was made King of Holland. His German allies, Bavaria and Württemberg, were elevated to the status of kingdoms. While Napoleon made himself...
Oh, sorry. I mean, this could be completely normal back in the day, but I just thought it was cool how Napoleon's like, here, you can be king of this, you know, to have, I guess, his own family being allies everywhere, when he could have just been like, no, everything's mine, I'm king of everything. When they, yeah. You guys can let me know in the comments below if that was normal, but anyways, back to it.
While Napoleon made himself protector of the Confederation of the Rhine, a new alliance of German states that would contribute 60,000 troops to his army.
Nice.
In recognition of the new reality, Emperor Francis of Austria formally dissolved the Holy Roman Empire, founded by Charlemagne 1,000 years before, but now without influence or purpose. Austria had been humiliated. France remained at war with Britain, Sweden and Russia. But in the summer of 1806, all eyes were on Prussia.
Here we go. It's a monster.
The Prussian king, Frederick William III, regarded Napoleon with deep mistrust and had been about to join the coalition against him when news arrived of its disastrous defeat at Austerlitz. He was heavily influenced by his wife, the celebrated and popular Queen Louise, who detested France and Napoleon. She led the influential War Party at the Prussian court. Matters came to a head over Hanover, a German state which had belonged to British King George III, been occupied by the French, and given by Napoleon to Prussia as compensation for other territorial changes. Now the Prussians learned that Napoleon had secretly offered to give Hanover back to Britain in exchange for peace. Frederick's advisors now persuaded him that war was the only honourable course. But Prussia then made a basic strategic blunder, sending an ultimatum to Napoleon without consulting its new allies in the Fourth Coalition. Their forces were too far away to help Prussia, who would now face Napoleon's Grande Armée with just the small state of Saxony for support.
Oh, he's screwed. So screwed. Oh my god, it's gonna be a disaster. You know, it's Napoleon with your small army. Come on, man. You got
In 1806,
smarter than
the
that.
Prussian army had a fearsome reputation that dated back 50 years to the reign of Frederick
Sorry,
the Great.
I think I missed something.
Napoleon, a student of history, regarded it as a reputation. The
I didn't read that. I make
In
sure I wasn't
1806,
missing something.
the Prussian army had a fearsome reputation that dated back 50 years to the reign of Frederick the Great. Napoleon, a student of history, regarded it with respect. But Prussia's army had been allowed to rest on its laurels. Its generals were old, its staff work hindered by bureaucracy and personal rivalries, its movements ponderous and predictable. Prussian soldiers, however, could be relied on to fight with pride and determination, while Prussian cavalry was regarded as amongst the best in Europe.
So you have they already messed up he's by himself, and then you got that, you know, they're predictable because, you know, they're stuck in the old way. But then you have, you know, Napoleon, who's basically his futuristic army because, you know, the new way of how war, you know, his what's funny, they separated, what's it called, his companies, or oh, I don't know. So man, just everything is just pointing in direction of Napoleon victory, big time. So how bad does he win?
Regarded as amongst the best in Europe. In October 1806, Napoleon invaded Saxony with an army of 166,000 men and 256 guns. Advancing in 3 columns, the French crossed the mountain forests of the Thüringer Wald, along roads carefully reconnoitred by scouts and spies. Napoleon intended to threaten Leipzig, and force a decisive battle with the Prussian army, which he believed was near Gera. The Prussians were, in fact, further west, concentrating near Erfurt, on the west bank of the river Saale. Its commander, the Duke of Brunswick, had hoped to threaten the flank of Napoleon's advance. But wrong-footed by the speed of the French, he now ordered a retreat north to find a new defensive line. On the 10th of October, at Saalfeld, Marshal Lannes' 5 Corps clashed with a Prussian advance guard commanded by Prince Louis Frederick, the king's cousin. The Prussian force was routed, and Prince Louis himself killed in combat with the quartermaster of the French 10th Hussars. 3 days later, Lannes made contact with a large Prussian force near Jena and sent news to Napoleon. The French emperor, believing he'd found the main Prussian army, rapidly issued orders for his corps to concentrate for battle at Jena.
Jena, okay. Sorry.
Bernadotte's 1 Corps and Davout's 3 Corps were to cross the Saale and fall on the Prussian flank from the north. But Napoleon was wrong. Lannes faced a 35,000-strong Prussian rearguard, commanded by General Hohenlohe. The main Prussian army, 52,000 men under the Duke of Brunswick, was further north, moving straight into the path of Davout's 3 Corps. The Battle of Jena began at 6:30 a.m. on the 14th of October, in thick fog. Marshal Lannes' 5 Corps already had a toehold on the plateau west of the town and river. His first task was to drive back the Prussians and win room for the rest of the French army, arriving by the hour to deploy. His infantry led the way, and fierce fighting broke out for the villages of Kospeda, Klosewitz and Lützeroda. Meanwhile, Augereau's 7 Corps advanced through a ravine, emerging onto the plateau on Lannes' left flank, while Soult's 4 Corps climbed steep tracks to form on his right. Napoleon joined Lannes in the centre of the battlefield, organising a 25-gun battery to support the attack on Vierzehnheiligen. The village was won, but then lost to a determined Prussian counterattack.
Oh, you can push back.
On the right, around 10 a.m., Soult's infantry secured Clausewitz, but was counterattacked on its right flank near Rödigen.
Oh.
A decisive charge by Soult's light cavalry drove off the Prussians, routing their infantry and capturing 2 enemy colours. As 6 Corps began to arrive on the plateau, its fearless but impetuous commander, Marshal Ney, ignored orders and dived into the fighting around Vierzehnheiligen, becoming briefly cut off by a Prussian counterattack and having to be rescued by Guard cavalry. General Hohenlohe was expecting the arrival of 15,000 more troops under General Ruchel at any moment.
Oh man, it's so far away.
Until then, he remained largely inactive, shoring up his line and ordering limited counterattacks. But he had run out of time. Napoleon had begun the day with just 25,000 men. By 12:30, a steady stream of reinforcements brought his strength up to 96,000. As the Emperor rode past the Imperial Guard, one young soldier, eager to be sent into action, called out, "Forward!" Napoleon stopped and demanded to know who had spoken, then rebuked the soldier as a beardless youth who ought not to offer advice until he too had commanded in 30 battles.
Wow.
But the moment had arrived. Although the Guard, to its frustration, remained in reserve, the other French corps were ordered forward in a general attack. The Prussian army began to give ground. At first it kept its discipline, but then disintegrated into a general rout. Murat's cavalry were launched in pursuit, riding down and sabring hundreds of fleeing Prussians.
Yeah, they're collapsing.
General Ruchel's 2 divisions finally arrived at the worst possible moment.
Oh my God.
They briefly held up 5 Corps' advance, but were soon outflanked, broken up by cannon fire, and charged down by French cuirassiers.
Look at that. Marshal must be seeing double.
Meanwhile, 12 miles to the north, near Auerstadt, Marshal Davout was marching southwest, expecting to fall on the Prussian left wing at Jena. Instead, he encountered the Duke of Brunswick's main Prussian army, heading north to take up new positions.
Ouch.
Davout's 3 Corps, 27,000 men and 48 guns, was about to face odds of 2 to 1.
Napoleon to come behind him.
Bernadotte's 1 Corps, which had orders to support Davout, was nowhere to be seen. Davout, nicknamed the Iron Marshal, showed no signs of alarm. He formed his 1st Division into a defensive line centered on the village of Hassenhausen, his infantry forming squares to repel a series of cavalry charges by General Blücher's advance guard.
Look at all that, man.
His other 2 infantry divisions arrived to strengthen the line, standing firm in the face of repeated Prussian attacks. But Prussian movements were slow and poorly coordinated, nor did they use their numerical advantage to try and outflank Davout. At a crucial moment, the Duke of Brunswick...
Sorry. Yeah, I was like... We go back. I was gonna say, like, yeah, you have the advantage, and I don't know, like everyone back here, you think, fly around the sides, or I don't know the landscape at all, but like what he's saying, I just think, I guess they wouldn't know, but you think that Napoleon would be coming in from behind, and maybe he might be too far away. I don't know what I'm talking about, but let's start.
At a crucial moment, the Duke of Brunswick was shot through the eyes, a wound that proved fatal. King Frederick William himself took command. Several Prussian units remained uncommitted, but the king, convinced he faced the main French army under Napoleon, dithered. Around 12:15, Marshal Davout counterattacked. The Prussian army turned and fled.
What? I wasn't expecting that at all.
Davout had won a stunning victory against the odds, but at a heavy price. His corps suffered 25% casualties.
Wow.
1 man in 4 killed or wounded, while inflicting twice as many losses on the Prussians.
Yep.
When news reached Napoleon that Marshal Davout had engaged and defeated the main Prussian army, he reacted first with disbelief, then heaped praise upon the Iron Marshal, later awarding him the title Duke of Auerstadt. Marshal Bernadotte,
At least, like, Napoleon, sees, like, his generals, they do a great job, and he praises them for it. He doesn't get jealous, like, oh, I could have done a better job, or you could have done better. Like, he sees that he did an awesome job against all odds, and he praises them for it. And I think that's, I think that's really cool.
awarding him the title Duke of Auerstadt. Marshal Bernadotte, in contrast, was nearly court-martialed for failing to support Davout. Napoleon's army began a masterful pursuit of the beaten Prussians, giving them no time to regather their strength. 2 weeks after the twin battles of Jena, Auerstadt, Napoleon's troops, led by Davout's heroic III Corps, entered Berlin. The next day, General Hohenlohe surrendered at Prenzlau. At Lübeck, General Blücher and 20,000 Prussians were driven out of the city in heavy fighting and forced to surrender, while 25,000 Prussians besieged at Magdeburg surrendered to Marshal Ney. Prussia's army had been devastated by a Napoleonic blitzkrieg. In just 33 days, Prussia had lost 20,000 dead, 140,000 prisoners,
Whoa.
800 guns, and 250 standards. It was a humiliation that proud Prussians like General Blücher would neither forget nor forgive.
140,000 prisoners? That's insane.
Unlike Saxony, King Frederick William refused to make peace with Napoleon. He continued to hold out in East Prussia, trusting in the approaching Russian armies to rescue his kingdom.
Oh my God.
Despite another glorious victory for Napoleon and the Grande Armée, the war was not won yet. Napoleon Bonaparte was one of the greatest military commanders of all time. But who were some of the worst? Find out with the Great Courses Plus lecture series, History's Great Military...
Yeah, they don't talk about the worst commanders. Deservedly so. Anyways, what did you guys think? He just destroyed them. His generals came through for him, and just another, like, masterful, display of, I don't know, he just better, more prepared, better trained, and just outsmarted them, and all that, good, crazy stuff. But another awesome episode. I do want to say, like, when they say the fog comes in, I wish they would just say that it's foggy instead of, like, putting fog over the map, because it's just like I can't see. So, but I mean that's nothing. But uh, so yeah, Napoleon smashes Prussia. Jena, yeah, man, I give up. I'm sorry, guys. It's Jena. Is that how you pronounce it? Jena. 1806. Yeah, another awesome episode. Uh, I love the music that goes along with these two. It's like, the eerie music. I think that's really cool. But yes, I had a lot of fun with this. But please hit the like and subscribe, guys, and we will continue our journey with Napoleon. I know I had some requests in the comments to watch, maybe look at a different battle before this one on maybe like a different channel. But I just wanted to go ahead with, I started, with this channel. I just want to do the entire series, on this channel. Like later, I'm gonna end up doing more Napoleon stuff, like maybe more inside stuff, or more different kind of battles, like the Navy battle, like off in the future, because yeah. But for now, I'm just gonna go through the epic history series, and I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm glad a lot of you guys are excited to join the ride with me, and I really appreciate that. And yeah, and it's on to the next one, guys. On to the next one. Just keeps getting better and better, right? All right. So peace. Catch you guys in future videos. Like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And yeah, see you tomorrow.